I've got some movie news for you guys, and this is regarding the coronavirus that has swept the nation as well as around the world and has been affecting the movie industry. Now, if you guys haven't been aware or haven't kept up on this latest news that has, come out in the past couple of days, we are now made aware that several movies have been delayed later this year compared to their original release date, and to one exception is being released next year, and then there are some that don't even have a release date set. So I'm going to be breaking down for you guys each movie that is, as far as we know, being delayed due to the coronavirus. And there are also other cancellations that I will also mention. First off, I want to talk about how I feel about all of this. Now, I'd say that, as far as making sure that there's nobody around you while you're at the movie theater watching these, and to keep people safe and protected from this coronavirus, and as long as movie theaters are taking some precautionary measures to make sure that things are sanitary, as well as other people taking time to stay healthy, and also, practicing good hygiene and washing your hands and all that stuff, which I'm sure you guys already know. I think that it's kind of interesting how this is all sort of happening so quickly, and how they are really going out of their way. The movie studios are deciding to delay all of these movies, and some of them are pretty big budget films, and there are a couple that, maybe aren't big tentpole films that are on a lot of people's radar, but I don't know how concerned they are about possibly losing a lot of money for when they were originally going to release them to when they will eventually release them, and if people will even remember to see these movies, because they'll have to re-advertise them, they'll have to change all of the marketing and all of that stuff. So the first movie I want to talk about that was the first to be on everybody's radar was No Time to Die. Now, I was really shocked to hear this news because it was set to be released in April of 2020, and now it isn't going to be released until this November. So I'd say that this is probably one of the biggest movies that I was looking forward to seeing, and I think to release it closer to the holidays would be, a pretty good idea for a movie like this, because we know that a lot of people are seeing movies during the holidays in general because everybody's together with their families, and obviously right now maybe isn't a good time to be in big huge crowds or groups of people. Now, I tend to see movies by myself anyway, so I don't usually have a problem with that. I think that as far as this movie goes, I am kind of disappointed that it's not coming out next month, but I still think that hopefully everything will change between now and November. Another movie that I also just found out was getting delayed was Fast and Furious 9. Now, of course, they had just released a trailer, the first trailer for this movie, not that long ago, and of course I loved it. It got me really excited to see this movie because, it's the 9th movie in the Fast and Furious franchise, and they were setting to release this movie in May, and now it's not even coming out until April of 2021. I mean, that is a whole nother year that we will have to wait. Now, unless there were other reasons why they delayed it for a whole year, it would give the studio enough time to be able to maybe rework some scenes and change some things around, or even add some stuff if they wanted to. So I think that, this is actually a pretty good move on their part, because I know a lot of people who are looking forward to seeing this movie, and I know a lot of people who aren't, so maybe it would give the studio a chance to figure out, like, what could they possibly do between now and 2021. Now, for another movie that I also was really shocked to find out that was going to be delayed, and that is for A Quiet Place 2, but it isn't really surprising considering that it was literally going to come out in, a couple of weeks this month, and John Krasinski, who directs and stars in the movie, he actually wrote this tweet, and it was like a really nice little thing for the fans and anyone who was looking forward to seeing this movie. He was saying that, this is a movie that we should all see together, and of course, like I said, seeing movies with big groups of people right now is maybe not the best idea. Obviously, he also would agree. So as of this moment, we don't actually know for sure when it will be released. So hopefully we get an answer to that soon, or at least in the next couple of months. Now, for another movie that's kind of, low budget, it's not maybe on a lot of people's radar, and it is for Antlers. Now, this is a movie that, does look really interesting, and it's a pretty creepy looking film, and it was set to release in April of 2020, and it's also another movie that doesn't have a determined date for when it's supposed to be released, but it's hopefully sometime this year. And it's probably going to suck for a lot of smaller budgeted films who, might be affected by this coronavirus and also affected by being possibly delayed. And it's just going to suck in general to have to compete with these bigger budgeted films that are also getting delayed as well. Another movie that I know is on a lot of people's radar, but of course there are a lot of eye roll emojis as far as this goes, because when you have the New Mutants, which is a movie that has been delayed for several years, and they are constantly pushing back this one X-Men type of movie, you have to wonder, is it even worth releasing in the theater in the first place? I mean, they have all these streaming services out. Why don't they just release it on Disney Plus? But I think that either way it goes, this movie was set to release in April of 2020, and once again, it does not have a determined date. So this one's kind of up in the air, and I mean, I wasn't exactly looking forward to seeing it in the first place, but it's just crazy that this movie has just been through release date hell that I'm like, man, either way, I feel like this movie is going to be the one that's going to lose a lot of money compared to any of the other movies that are being delayed. Another movie that I know I am looking forward to seeing, or I was looking forward to seeing before they decided to cancel it, and I just found out about this, and it was for Mulan. But it is not surprising, because I said, okay, well, as soon as they get rid of New Mutants, I swear, they're going to get rid of Mulan. I just know it. And of course, they ended up announcing it, that Mulan was going to be pulled and pushed back to a to-be-determined date. It was set to be released in March. They just had their premiere. Everything looked like it was going to be going so well, but Disney made the decision to unfortunately delay this movie as well. And of course, the one thing that did concern me most about this movie was because of how big it might have been in China, how much that was going to make, but because unfortunately everything with the coronavirus, it really didn't look like it was going to be making a lot of money. So they're going to end up releasing it at some point, and hopefully it's going to make a ton of money, because I was really looking forward to seeing this movie and it just looked so good. But either way, that's just me being a Disney fan and hoping that everything with that movie goes well. Another latest movie that I heard about, which I'm also not really looking forward to seeing, that got canceled or got delayed, was Peter Rabbit 2. Now, it was also set to be released in March, and now it's got a release date of August. So we'll see what happens between now and August. what's all going to happen with that, but either way, that one has a for sure release date. Now, as far as the other cancellations go, speaking of Disney, Disneyland and Disney World, as well as Disney Paris, have been shut down. They closed down everything, and nobody is allowed to go there, and it's just such a mess. I mean, I was actually really looking forward to going to Disneyland this year or next year. They at least said that they were going to open them up at the end of the month, or the end of next month. I mean, it's a good decision to do that, but it's still like kind of crazy. But either way, other big name events, South by Southwest, E3, and CinemaCon, have also all been canceled. So it's just so disappointing. Everything just seems to be canceling. And you know what I have to say to that? It reminds me of a quote that Idris Elba said from Pacific Rim, where he said, "We're canceling the apocalypse." And quite frankly, I wish that we could cancel the coronavirus instead. Either way, this has all just been such a crazy turn of events, and I'm really hoping that the studios and the movie industry in general can pull through, and hopefully we don't hear about any more cancellations. I know that Black Widow may or may not be affected by this, even though that one also releases in May. So I'm really concerned about a lot of the movies that I was really looking forward to seeing, but as long as they get released at some point in the future, then I'm okay with that. I'll be a happy camper. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about all of this latest movie delay news, and if you were looking forward to seeing a movie, you guys can let me know which one haven't I mentioned that you think will be on the chopping block next. And hope you guys all stay safe from this coronavirus, and as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Child Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you guys later.